Greetings, friends. New December Social Security checks are beginning to arrive for millions of households. Many are expected to finally receive their increased payments. But congressional lawmakers are starting to worry about the future of our government as another shutdown looms. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter the weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, dearest friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways.
My good friend Mr. Williams over here often starts some of the discussions by asking whether you're a capitalist or a socialist.
As I mentioned, I think I've appeared before Congress 25 times and have mentioned every time I'm very much a capitalist.
I appreciate that, but I was curious, I would assume then that you believe the banking industry should be a for-profit industry.
Yes, and I think the banking industry is just as essential as our communications infrastructure, as our electric grid.
Mr. Chopra, the actions that are completely different, though, than what you say. During your tenure at the Bureau, the administration has spoken of or taken actions on banks' operating expenses, the fees institutions can charge, interest rate caps on credit, increased capital requirements, and of course, interchange fees, contracts between private entities, just to name a few. You even sought to increase your control over the credit reporting agencies and therefore who can get a loan. Taken together, we're looking at massive losses of revenue, loan and other credit losses, as well as very large additional costs of compliance. All of this results in higher costs and fewer banking services for customers and fewer financial institutions to provide those services, all the while giving the government more control over our personal finances. So it begs the question, at what point can we just publicly recognize that you and the administration believe that financial services should be a utility provided to the public by the government?
Well, nothing we have said has suggested that we want a lot of competing financial firms. And if you look at the profitability of the do you mind if I finish on this? If you look at the profitability of the finance industry, we've actually seen a way in which they have been able to be robust and create new products and new revenue.
Director Chopra, what's happening is the regulation is running downhill and choking the small institutions. You sit on the FDIC board, do you not?
I do.
You see the mergers and the continued consolidation of the industry, do you not?
We do review merger applications.
I just had a meeting this morning with Federal Chairman Powell. He talks about the consolidation. It's there. So it begs the question then, if you see this, what are you doing about it?
Well, we should have a discussion actually about consolidation, because there's a few places where I think it has driven. And one of the ways in which is some institutions get preferred cost of funding advantages because of perceptions about that.
So you recognize the problem. Have you taken any actions whatsoever to relieve the regulatory burden on small banks?
Well, one of the things we have done is tried to make sure we are making our supervision fit for the actual risks. We have shifted much of our supervisory resources to larger players.
Okay, you said on FSOC too, do you not?
I do.
Basel III is coming along. That is a detriment to all of the small businesses, small banks, and everybody else. It's going to hugely increase the costs. Can we get your support of trying to minimize the impact of that regulation on small banks?
So just to be clear, the proposed rule, as I understand it, that the agencies have proposed applies to banks with $100 billion or more in assets.
Director, I just got done talking to some banks, and they were telling me the regulators saying, look, we know it starts at $100 billion up, but get ready. It's going to roll downhill.
Social Security checks are trickling into millions of homes across the country, with the first of 2 payments hitting mailboxes. The next payment is scheduled for December 29th, as Americans recuperate from what's expected to be one of the priciest holiday shopping seasons, due to continued high inflation. So only those who qualify for SSI benefits will be receiving the pair of the payments, worth as much as $2,700 in total. The SSA says that 67 million Americans will be scoring these payments. The payments are designated to help Americans who earn less than $1,913 from work each month, and those who do not have an income at all. SSA considers disability benefits, unemployment and pensions, and other circumstances. Starting December 29th, approximately 7.5 million Americans will begin receiving their larger supplemental security income payments. The 3.2% cost of living adjustment will be reflected in payments for more than 66 million Social Security beneficiaries starting in January. Retirement benefits are slated to increase by more than $50 per month. Now, friends, we are again less than 2 months out from a potential government shutdown. Under a full government shutdown, millions of federal workers will go without pay, and many programs could be forced to turn away people. Shutdowns also waste a big amount of money and cause the public to lose trust in our government. So much of Congress had breathed a sigh of relief when Congress passed 2 continuing resolutions to keep the government open this fall, with just few hours away from a true shutdown. But bouncing from continuing resolution to continuing resolution has cost a lot of money, as government agencies cannot make year-long plans and are forced to delay important projects. Many are saying it is time for the House to get to work and fund the budget in keeping with their budget deal. More delays will only lead to less efficiency and may risk delaying key government decisions. The Fiscal Responsibility Act, which was signed into law by President Biden in June, cut government spending, as sought by House Republican leadership, in exchange for a temporary suspension of the debt limit. Within a week of securing these cuts, House Republican leadership walked away from the deal to push for even deeper cuts. So rather than using the remaining 4 months of the year to write the next spending bills, House Republican appropriators produced bills significantly below the level that many lawmakers had just agreed to. And since then, they have not made much progress towards that goal, with House Republican leadership pulling 5 of their 12 appropriation bills and leaving 10 for the holidays without any tangible plan. Last month, President Biden signed another continuing resolution that will keep our federal government running through January 19th, and some parts of it running through February 2nd. The more time spent relying on temporary funding, the more time agencies are forced to delay long-term planning and investments, which can affect important projects and hiring decisions. This leads to missed opportunities and a less efficient government overall. But at this point, the main obstacle to getting full-year appropriations is House Republicans' attempts to secure deeper cuts than the budget deal allows. House Republicans need to change course and start working with the Senate to fund appropriations along the lines of the budget deal. The cost of not reaching a reasonable deal to fund the government is too great and affects the American people. Do you think a government shutdown can be avoided? Please let me know in the comments section below. Well, my magnificent and most marvelous friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. My dearest friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you, and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.